Svennson,
and the right-hander from
Thomas
Denmark,
Larsen.
one-hander, Thomas Larsen. Larsen is the higher seed. So he told Jesper, you can start on the left lane.
Birmingham's also going to see that New Orleans could see record heat in the mid-80s for the next couple of days into the weekend. And it's all getting tracked by that.
What was that?
I don't know, but his ball goes through the pins about as hard as I go through the front door of a Walmart on Black Friday. I mean, this is just so nasty. Highest rev rate, and I mean, what's going to stop that?
Not even adding extra pins would stop that.
It's like trying to stop a Mack truck with a fishing net.
So Thomas Larsen, let's see how big this fishing net is. Left one there.
Larsen came up like there, even its pin.
Caused a catastrophic injury. Contact fine inspector.
We had this really awkward bonus space. I just didn't know what to do with it.
Handled very carefully and properly by Thomas Larsen. Let's go down lane side where Kimberly is standing by with Belmo.
Thanks, Dave. So, Jason, you played very well.
The reason the two are facing off in the tournament is because they both had
Yeah,
top two highest scores.
Slow. Certainly tried
The Australians,
to keep it as
Cooley and
fast as I
Belmo.
could to the right. I just never got it to the right, so I was really hoping for
Yeah,
some
sort of got knocked up.
Never mind. The rest of the game was pretty good. I was pretty happy with the rest of the game.
Well, let's talk real quick because you played well, but every time you went and sat back down, the guys thought maybe you weren't feeling well, or there was a little something off for you. What's up with that?
Yeah, not feeling the best. I had a little bout of food poisoning last night, but I mean, I'm well enough to throw the ball, so I was really happy with my game apart from that one shot. Probably bowled better than I would have if I was feeling great. So, you know, if you watch the replay again, which I will, Thomas and Jesper split their targets perfectly. So I think no matter how well I was feeling, they were probably going to make it through anyway.
Well, they definitely played well as you did. But you know what? And you're being a very good sport about it, and I appreciate that. But I'm going to let you go rest now because you have another match coming up. Guys?
He's got seemingly about 100 more coming up in this World Series. He and Jesper Svennson combined 9 shows in the World Series of bowling.
It's windy up to 77 degrees, and that leads to an evening storm chance.
All right, how many in a row is that now?
Out of the gate.
Well, I got to go back to my sheet from the last game.
Because it seems like he's been striking consecutively for about a half an hour.
That's 10 in a row now for Jesper.
Another storm chance back in the 70s come Sunday, Tam.
And Kimberly wasn't kidding about Belmo needing to put his feet up on the couch a little bit because he'll be in our next show, which is coming up after this one. And it will be a Player of the Year battle, potentially. E.J. Tackett and Jason Belmonte. 11 in a row. Over 2 games.
Well, he said that in English, so I know exactly what he just said. He said, please, and then carry. And it did. Most powerful strike ball on the PBA Tour, Jesper Svennson.
So that's what Thomas Larsen is up against here, but he knows that. Very experienced international bowler, Thomas. Denmark.
Still a little bit slow there, but I think they're in the process of clearing that out of the way. And there was work on the New Jersey Turnpike. Southbound pass takes it 2 left-handers blocked.
Beauty.
That is remarkable because for just a second I thought that was going to go ahead and dip to the right further. As Larsen, by the way, just recently celebrated his 28th birthday.
These two players very familiar with one another, with all of their international competition. And that ball was probably a 1.5, 2 board. It's going to hook back from there if it leaves your hand correctly. It used to be one of my favorite places to play.
Bucket broken up. Couple still spinning around there, but Larsen's left 2 on the deck.
Larsen came up a little quick, even 2-4.
A little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese.
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the.
I don't know if that was a release thing or a location issue, but there wasn't enough on it to get it flush to the pocket.
Spin.
Right now, even a small, I don't want to say mistake, maybe that first shot was a bit of a
Families are saving on energy
but
costs.
you can't do anything wrong
Across
against
the
this guy
state
right
are
now.
earning millions in income from clean energy
Well,
projects.
we talked about it.
Homegrown
First
clean
mistake.
energy is fueling America's energy dominance.
That was
and
by
powering
Thomas Larsen
our
going
future.
light in the
This
first.
radio wins.
Again, another light shot in the fourth. This man's
Thank you
perfect.
for supporting an all-of-the-above energy strategy.
Oh, no, the
stop
messenger
it,
got
son.
tired.
He has an insurance policy with
So that breaks a run. He had 11 in a row going, counting from the last game.
himself. On the plus side, get more from insurance with AAA.
Uh-oh.
We hated it, and for good reason. Yeah, he did not shoot many spares in qualifying, and he leaves one back. He had missed, by the way, 15% of 7 pins in qualifying.
He just misses left on this shot.
And that is our Hammer Tough Spare replay. You have to wonder if that's going to come back to haunt it.
Good morning, America. Say that. For once in a generation.
Somebody had to pay for that missed 7 pin.
Yeah. 10 of his friends down in the pit.
Those are not, you don't treat your friends like that.
True, very true. 10 of his adversaries in the back?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't be there for my kids the way I would always normally be. And what she learned from
Well,
her
new life here for Thomas Larsen. Big open frame by Jesper.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Overnight, the Hollywood leading man passing away at 65 years old. From Iceman.
7-10 was there for a blink. Just the 10.
That's 7
Flat 10 ball burning
Well, I
up.
mean 10 pin, excuse me.
Or as my friend back home calls it, this is the quitter 10.
I'm not coming to New York.
6 pin's going to go to the sidewall and just kind of lay there dead.
Reuniting with Jackie Chan this morning with new details about Karate Kid legend.
All right, time for our Columbia 300 fun fact. And it's about the lanes. Bowling lane, 62 feet, 10 1/4 inch. From the foul line to the end of the pin deck, and 60 feet from the foul line to the head pin.
And he's saying, good morning, America.
So Thomas Larsen looking for title number 3. Be his first in the U.S. And Jesper Svennson looking for title number 7, second this year. The other was a doubles with Kyle True. Wide, and the messenger's not going to make it.
Top at 10 pin.
And another soft 10.
So let's ask while we have a moment, how are the lanes breaking down for both guys, starting with Thomas?
Well, I think it's the front part of the lane that went first, and then it forced him a little bit to the left. And his angles opened up just a little bit to where the ball's not getting there. I don't think the lanes have changed much at all.
Spare in the 6.
Because he's been the only one on it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I mean, and if they have changed, it's very minor for Jesper. A little bit of carry down and maybe a little friction up front, but that's it.
So Svensson sneaks back in, and you can take a look at the...
You can see it. You can look at the laydown area right here for the righties, and there's Jesper's laydown area.
Hey, George, good morning. So Memphis here at a high risk. Those only get issued from the Storm Prediction Center about 1% of days, and it makes you have a 3 times more likely event of getting hit by a tornado. So
and another strike for Svensson.
This line is blasting through parts of Missouri into the Ozarks of northwestern Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma. That's going to keep coming to the east. St. Louis will have...
You like revolutions? Swipe right.
The afternoon and evening is where things did just go downhill here. So Memphis back to Jonesboro, up to Paducah. We stopped it at 7 p.m. Then it gets closer to Nashville, closer to 9, 10 p.m. But it stalls after that, which I'll get to. That large, long track tornado area of Cape Girardeau.
Oh my, did it not go? It just,
I think it went through the back of the building.
Yep, there it goes, right down Virginia Street.
Yeah, there it goes, right down Virginia Street is right. Through the back curtain.
This is going to go, Robin, through the end of this week. a lot of people see more than 80% of our damage comes from flash flood days from high, which is what we've got tomorrow in the region that you see highlighted there.
See the crutch. He had significant knee surgery not long ago.
And it is kicking this morning.
He's just telling him to keep his hand in the right spot as Thomas Larsen now has made a ball change. Good idea.
And great execution by Larsen.
Something come off the spot a little bit harder, looks like. A little bit stronger change of direction. It's a smart move, too, after going back-to-back kind of flat, soft 10s. He goes to something that he knows is going to jump off of that friction a little bit stronger.
This is one of the busiest ports in the country. It's the largest here on the East Coast. Things like furniture, car parts, toys, clothing come through here every day from countries including
we've seen that movie a few too many times from Larsen in this game.
Places like Italy, France, and Germany. So what would these
time running out for the young Dane, as again it's just getting to the 1-3 late.
Impact prices driving things like your food, even
now if it was Jesper's rev rate, absolutely he strikes.
Spin rate.
So we've already had a terrific start to World Series of Bowling number 9, and of course you're watching the Cheetah Championship right now. That'll be followed by Scorpion, and that could be E.J. Tackett's last chance to defend his Player of the Year. But Belmo's on that show as well, and he's on the World Championship show. And that man right there, Jesper Svennson, is the top seed, and he had a spectacular run to the top of the ladder here in Reno.
And Will Reed is here with the story. Good morning, Will.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here and not on this ship, Michael. Good morning to you. They call it the Drake Shake. It's named after what happened.
And a lot of that.
Jesper Svensson shots.
This morning we hear from passengers in the middle of that hair.
Composure. Composure. One more. Yeah, it's a smart move.
Yes, he was kind of worked up, and that's a little unusual for him.
He got jacked.
Yeah. And Tim Mack really understands the emotional part of the game as well as anybody I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
And Timmy played football collegiately at Penn State. I think he understands that angle of an athlete's mind very, very well.
It is like a massive one.
Passengers seen tossed around the hallways.
Plates were smashing everywhere, and that's when you see people kind of looking at each other being like,
strike here, and he pretty much locks up this title on Cheetah.
Eventually, those on board locked down in their cabins. The
he has an Animal Pattern victory in his career.
Passage
in Reno, 2015, he won the Chameleon.
Known for its occasional
a lot of time on this shot.
You're standing there thinking, if this class goes, but I had full faith in that ship. Kudos to the captain.
And the result is the same.
The strike
Svensson has nailed down his 7th PBA Tour title.
And that's about as much emotion as I've ever seen from Jesper.
Penny Mellencamp shared an update on her cancer.
Also have a new shopping experience on one of your favorite apps. We're going to show you how it works, plus some of the savings you can get starting this morning. And we're going back to school as Chris Buffet
and Thomas Larsen finishing strong. He had a brilliant game in the 4-person match to get to this. Today he just got beat. Some days you have a good day and it isn't good enough, and Jesper Svensson was just overpowering, striking so far in every frame but the 4th.
Well, he did exactly what we kind of expected him to do. I mean, I think we've kind of grown accustomed to Jesper really putting his foot on the pedal, especially late in matches. Game 1, he started slow.
Well, I was wondering if that was going to happen today.
It's all right. It's a good week for Thomas Larsen, and we'll see him again. But right now, it's all about that man, Jesper Svensson. And I think the emotions, Dave, are because of a dear friend of his who passed away not too long ago, and he kind of dedicated this World Series to his friend back home in Sweden. And I think that's the reason why we see such an outpouring of emotion from Jesper Svensson.
Increased risk of Guillain-Barré syndrome was observed after getting shivers. Fainting can happen, so take precautions.
So, Larsen finishes up that 194.
And Jesper Svennson will get the victory lap in the 10th frame.
Queen is the worst. But now, they're spruce.
22 years old, owner of 7 PBA titles, a major. And he dedicated, speaking of things that have been dedicated to people, he dedicated that shot to you.
That doesn't really count because he's left-handed and left a solid 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Jesper Svennson,
I think Jesper had a
up the ladder
fantastic
continues. You're looking at one of the biggest stars
If you like
in the
and
game.
subscribe.